cover
PHP
that.
developer? How can a PHP developer be washing plates?
So some of the issues that they identified by using Agile for complex projects, where in the situation where they have distributed teams, like they have one team in Moscow, they have another one in Tokyo, they have another one in Nigeria. So that was a problem for using Agile for a multiple project, for a complex project and multiple teams. And in the situation where there were a lot of dependencies, like for example, maybe before you can create the login page, there has to be a sign-up page. So that's what I mean by maybe a dependency. For it to move to this level, this one has to be completed. So that was an issue when you want to use Agile for a complex project. And there's also the issue of the non-functional requirements. So as all these were encountered, Agile needed to adapt and make sure that their principle, which is to deliver value, is accomplished. So that's what my whole topic is just talking about today. So using Agile at scale, they've proven that Agile frameworks can be used to deliver value to customers quickly and easy. But the challenge was extending that practice to multiple teams in a large organization or or building a large project. So in the adoption of Agile, they came about some frameworks. And there are multiple, but I'm going to focus on just a few of them. So the first one I'm going to talk about is known as SAFe, which is the Scaled Agile Framework, and the set of organization and workflow patterns for implementing Agile practices at enterprise scale. It is formed around 3 primary bodies of knowledge. It's from around using Agile software development, lean product development, and systems thinking. It promotes alignment, collaboration, and delivery across large numbers of teams. So SAFe is a body of knowledge which includes structure and guidance for the team. So this framework guides the team on their roles and responsibilities, how to plan, how to manage the work, and how to upload the values of Agile. So we have the next framework, which is the large scale Scrum, also called LESS. So it's essentially regular Scrum being applied to the large scale development. But based on the team is so large or the project is really complex, they try to do Scrum less to deliver success, because Scrum is made up of a lot of meetings. We have the daily stand-up meeting, we have the weekly review, or maybe in 2 weeks review. Then there is the Scrum retrospective. So that's a lot of meetings. So using this framework, we decided that okay, we should reduce that. It shouldn't be so often, so we are able to drive success. So however, both LESS and Scrum, they share some of the same patterns of using Scrum at team level by teams sharing one backlog. There's collaborative planning, and along with the general principles of pull and self-organization that any smaller Agile team will be familiar with. So it's trying to say SAFe and Scrum, they share some patterns with the normal Scrum, which is the teams are sharing one backlog. The teams come together during their meetings. Let me say, for example, the sprint planning meeting, to collaborate and plan together on how to work on the project. So the next one, the next framework for managing complex projects or multiple teams is known as the Disciplined Agile. And Disciplined Agile is a learning-oriented process decision framework for IT solution delivery. It provides foundation for which to scale Agile solution within enterprise class organizations. So Disciplined Agile uses Scrum and Kanban to make it easier to scale along the team. Using Scrum in the sense that there are all the Scrum meetings, but there's also a Kanban board to track everything that is going on and to limit that work in progress doesn't stay stagnant for a long time. Maybe you have one project that is still under the Kanban board. There are three parts of the Kanban board. There's the doing, there's this to do, there's the doing, and there's the done. So Kanban just helps to limit what's happening in the doing part of the board, in the sense that one project should not take so much time in the doing part, means there's a problem. So Kanban helps you to identify this so you can solve that problem. So Discipline Agile uses Scrum and Kanban to work. Then there's the Spotify framework. The Spotify framework focuses on the people. Focuses on the people who are part of the team. It helps to stress the importance of culture and networks and provide an example for dealing with multiple teams in the product development organization. So Spotify is successful if the organization aligns work to help increase the team agility. Aligns work in the sense that they practice Agile. If they are going to build a very big project, they should be able to break it down. So the team should be able to deliver quickly and faster, which is exactly how Agile works. Then the final framework I'm going to talk about today is using Scrum at scale, and it's the extension of the Scrum framework, and it is adopted by organizations that have already implemented Scrum successfully. So for an organization to use Scrum at scale, they should have already implemented Scrum successfully at the team level before they spread it out throughout the organization. I know there are some projects internally that Scrum is being used now. If it's successful, the management can decide that, okay, let's use Scrum across the organization. Let all teams be having a daily Scrum. Let them be having a sprint review. Let them be having a sprint retrospective and a sprint planning session. And the main goal of this is to align growing organizations around one common and shared set of goals. And this process is managed through a Scrum of Scrums. Scrum of Scrums in the sense that when teams have their daily Scrum, weekly Scrum, sprint review and sprint retrospective, there's still a Scrum of Scrums meeting, and that is being attended by a representative from each team in the organization, just to give to the management a breakdown of what's happening in the team, where they are, what their issues are, so they can try to solve it together. So, and the principles for practicing Agile at scale. If none of this is adopted, your Agile at scale process would fail. So for this to work out, you have to have defined roles and organizational structure changes. The organization has to be customer-centric. Like, you have to be focused on the customer. The organization have to have adapted to Agile and Scrum practices. The organization needs to be adoption mature, meaning they have to take out time to respond to change. And they have to be dependency improvements. So if a particular task is depending on another one, there have to be a way to make sure that that predecessor task is ongoing well and smoothly, so it doesn't affect the successor task. And it has to focus on the people, and has to focus on lean and systems thinking. I think that's the end of the presentation. I don't know if there are any questions.
Let me see if our other presenter is available before we proceed with your questions. I can't even see her. All right, if there are questions, Nika is right here to entertain and give you a warm answer. Nika, over to you.
Over to me or whoever is asking.
I want to ask a question though.
Okay.
So it's kind of a bit confusing to me in a way. You're trying to say Agile and Scrum are different, but
I won't say they are different. Agile is a methodology. Scrum is used to practice Agile. Do you get?
Thank you. Yeah, I get it now.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
I don't know if you're in a position to answer, though. So in all of this, it's ascertained that the agile methodology is like the best fit for any software development establishment, if that's correct, right?
No, there are some projects that require you to use the traditional approach, which is waterfall, meaning building everything from scratch, even if maybe there are glitches at the end. But there are some projects that are fit for that methodology and not agile.
Oh, okay. So in the case of Beacom, for example, now, do you think we are following which methodology do you best describe the way we handle microservices?
I would say you guys are trying to do agile and trying to use Scrum, but I'm
You
not
guys,
sure.
Neka, Neka, you guys.
He said we at Bincom. That's what he said. Did he
He
say
said
us?
we are.
We, all of us.
So you guys are trying to use Scrum, but I'm not sure that's happening like correctly. Do you have a sprint review session in your team? Do you have a retrospective? I know you guys do stand up. After stand up, what's next?
Yeah, we don't actually. So
Okay.
the major question is that why is Beacom not adopting this methodology if at all Beacom wants to stand on the ground of advancement in the industry?
Okay, I don't think I'm the one to answer that, like you said. Well, I know they are trying to move to using it. So yeah, fingers crossed.
I hope you experience that.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I think good morning. I think you should mention that there's a agile transformation going on in the organization now.
Yes, that's why I said I know that they are trying to. So fingers crossed. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that question. The answer rather. Do you have any other questions?
Okay, Nika, do you have questions for the people in the house?
No, I don't have any question. I'm a nice person. So.
You're a nice person. You're meant to have questions.
Sorry, I have one more question.
Okay.
Last
Go
time.
on.
Okay, my question is, I don't know, maybe I missed out, while you're presenting. Is there any cardiac regarding, okay, the number of participants or the number of the team that can involve in Agile? Maybe I missed that though.
I don't really get what you mean by Agile, but I'm going to say Agile is known for working effectively with small teams. So now what I discussed is, as the people who are, let me say, the Agile experts discovered that this was a problem. So they worked towards adapting to the situation, which is some of the frameworks I discussed today are used for multiple teams and complex projects. They're not used in the regular. Maybe if you want to build just, I don't know, if you want to build just one small thing, I cannot go and carry the whole of Beacom and do the project. So, do you get? So it's just be maybe me and Benjamin with yourself. Then we can start using Scrum. I work with Patrick. Patrick knows we use Scrum. We have stand up every day. We have sprint reviews every Friday. And I think he has retrospectives with Mr. Adenka. So, and we have a sprint planning session also. So yeah.
One more before I leave.
Okay.
Is it agile or agile? Because I'm getting confused right?
I think anyone you like.
Okay. Sounds good. I think that'll be all for now.
Nick, are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, sir.
Ilate.
Okay. There's a place you said and non-functional requirement. What does that mean there? You said Agile was known to working on smaller projects and teams. Okay, when it comes to large projects, you distribute. When it comes to large projects, it includes distributed team, dependence, and non-functionality. What do you mean there?
Okay, I think I'll get back to you on that. Let me not see rubbish right now. But I think it's about like the security or maybe performance, scalability of the project and usability. I think it's based on that, but I'll get back to you if it's not. So I think it's based on the security of what's happening in the project, which could be serving as constraint or restriction.
Okay.
Thank you, Nika. Thank you, House, for
Why
the
are you pursuing us? Are you sending us out? Let us, is the meeting not still on?
Sorry?
What?
No, it's Benjamin I'm talking about. Why are you sending us away? Are you sending us?
I said thank you. I didn't say go.
Don't worry.
But do you have something else you want to ask her more questions, or you just want to stare into her face?
My time is up. They shouldn't ask me, please.
Okay. As an agile developer, okay, what step do you think I should take first?
Are you an agile developer? What makes you think you are one?
If I want to become one, what step do you think I should?
That's boost.
Go and learn what agile is about. Then you know. But one of the important things is communicating. Communicating, yeah, commitment.
I need you to convince me now.
It's not part of my job description, but I'm just saying, if you want to be an agile person, you have to be able to communicate well. You have to be able to be committed. If you are saying you're going to deliver this and by this time you have to.
So that's not convincing to me.
Sorry? Yeah, I'm doing show for you guys.
Okay. Thank you. Peter, no more questions. And I think we've come to the end of this particular session.
Wait,
thank you.
I think the other person is here now.
Is she around now?
It's not.
Okay, David. Oh, Ebunolua. Are you present with us now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. You can take the floor now. I kept checking, I didn't see you.
Oh, sorry. I had network issues at first.
Okay. All right. You really have limited time, but let's go.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Let me quickly share my screen.
Okay.
Face is black. A black woman, her face is black.
It has supposed to be the show black.
Can you see my screen?
It's about to. You can see now.
Okay. So today I'll be talking about CMS. We'll be doing a quick introduction into CMS. Okay. So we'll start with what is CMS, the features of CMS. We'll talk about the types, steps in choosing the perfect CMS system for your project, then examples of popular CMS systems, the advantages, and obviously their disadvantages as well. So CMS is short for Content Management System. It's a software that helps you create, manage, and edit websites effectively without having to hard code the sites. With CMS, you don't really need to have a technical knowledge of programming before you can make the websites that you desire. Some features of CMS, the first and most important that should have been the first on my list is it's user-friendly, in the sense that any layman can use it with little or no prior training. Super, you don't need to have like a background in programming before you use most CMS services out there. Then it should have like a good security. Most CMS services, all good CMS services have a robust authentication and strict permission plugins that enable you to create safe and secure websites. Then another important feature of a CMS service is it should have good analytical system, in the sense where it could be able to analyze the visitors of your site and help you create, optimize your content and create better strategies to pull more attention to your site. Another feature is personalization. You should be able to personalize your digital experience for your viewers on CMS services in an easy and streamlined way. And then scalability. When we talk about scalability, we talk about fact where upgrades and upgrades can be done on your CMS website without it crashing the sites. Everything will still be stable, and then the changes will be adapted by your site. So these are basically the features of CMS services. We have three major types of CMS services. We have the traditional type, we have the decoupled, and we have the headless. So traditional CMS or coupled CMS is probably like the easiest because it has the simplest layouts, and the functionalities are very simple. Examples of your traditional CMS are your popular WordPress, Squarespace, Wix, the ones you're used to. This is the traditional method because it links the back end and the front end together. Your content can be easily created and managed, and everything is done on the back end. Your web designs are also saved on the back end of it. So if you use WordPress, you would understand that when you're creating everything, you do everything from your dashboard, and like that's how a traditional CMS looks like. Then your decoupled CMS is something like your traditional, but a little bit more complex in the sense where the back end and the front end are separated. There are two different things. And then it has an API that connects the back end to the front end. An example, very good example of your decoupled CMS would be React Native. Then headless CMS, it's called headless because there's no designated front end. It just has the back end that you can connect to several numerous devices from your watches, from your Android watches or your iWatches to your laptops, desktop, cross platforms. Yeah, so that's pretty much about headless. An example of headless is Strapi, Cockpit. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Then steps in choosing a good CMS system. First of all, you have to decide on